Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon. I trust that, and I hope that we did not sit with our regulars. Ladies, may we please have your attention as we just start with the program, the rest of the program. I do know that this is before 3, right? So the itis has not kicked in yet, correct? Or has it? No, not yet. I saw there was pop there, so I was just like, this might be difficult. So before we get into it, I'd like to hear from maybe 2 people, just get some feedback from some things that resonated with you earlier on. So I do know that we had a hand on the far end over there, but my biggest ask is that on my left, can we have more contributions? It's awfully quiet this side. I do know that Absa team and technical crews are here, but I do know that there's enough representation of delegates from across the board. So I ask that we engage as much as possible so that we also learn from either your feedback, your comments, as well as your questions. And sometimes never think that that one question that you have is insignificant, because you can find that so many other people will be able to identify with that very question. So may I please have a mic on my right? And as Malenga is heading over to get just a comment, Beliso, do you want to take it away?
Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. So before our lunch break, we had that poll, the questions that I was showing. We got the responses in the room. Now, let's see what the team online, our online attendees, what they think. So could the tech team please put up the results of the poll? So, majority on the first question, which was, what's the biggest challenge facing women-led SMEs today? Majority voted for access to capital. So I think they're in the first question is where everyone said all the above. But the majority of them said access to capital as the biggest challenge. On the second one, which was, which of these would be most transformative for your business? If you could just scroll down. Digital team. Thank you. So anyone offers such services, please do promote yourselves, let them know where they can find you, and offer them some mentorship, and also business management tools. I assume this is for accounting or any financial issues you may have, or even just branding and marketing. And then question 3, what is the most significant barrier to accessing funding for your business? Most of them were in agreement, though it was quite close, most of them were in agreement with the room. And then the second, not too far from with 31 votes out of 90, limited financing options. It seems that a lot of our SMEs don't know what kind of finance they can access. Is it a loan? Can they get vehicle asset financing? Can they get invoice discounting? Can they do purchase order financing? And how to go about doing that. So no one is more special than the other. Everyone's kind of going through the same challenges one way or another. So if we can all communicate, collaborate, we can progress together as SMEs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for Deliso, please. All right, so contributions, comments, questions. Please introduce yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
My name is Mainga Banda, and I'm a founder of Musimbi Stores. We're a small retail store for children, and very recently I'm a founder is that our story matters. I think for the longest time, when I tell people I'm the founder of Musimbi, they'll be like, wow, we thought it was a white person's store. So I was like, oh, we must be very different from our fellow white people. So I realized that actually I should tell my story more because people want to hear it and that it matters and it can inspire somebody. So I think that's what resonated with me more. And I think from now on, I'll be more out there telling my story, my ups and downs, because it matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mainga. And you know, just to her story, if you've had a chance to listen to it, you'll find yourself so provoked to, no, just to her story, if you've had a chance to listen to it, you'll find yourself so provoked to out there, sometimes even in a market where you do not ordinarily have past experience, but because you have the tenacity and you just have a goal in mind that you will be able to achieve this. And fortunate for us, I do know that you'll be sharing part of your story tomorrow. I believe it might be part of a panel discussion. I'm not too sure, but she's definitely on the program, so let's look out for that. I see hands being beckoned. We've got a hand over there. And it's still very quiet over here. So.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Absa, for putting up such a great event.
Absolutely.
My name is Lungoye Mlopo. I am an expert in business development and strategic marketing. So I'm the person that you need on poetry. Right. As I was interacting with the people here, and especially the theme of the conference, Her Story Matters, right? I realized that each one of us has a story. We may have similar goals and ambitions, but the path that we pass through are different. So there is need for you to be authentic, right? You might aim to be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. Maybe it might be everybody's dream, but the journey that will take you there will be different from the one that your colleague, your friend, your sister, your brother might pass through. So it is important to have a story that is yours, a story that may be different, it will still take you there. I was talking, right? And so we're asking her, how did you start? Because she's a bit elderly. How did you get here? And she was talking about how she actually once worked for Absa, okay? And the time that she was starting her business, she went to her network, all right? And she was managing the accounts, and she saved them so well, so much that when she wanted to do business, now she has retired, they opened doors for her, right? And so I realized the importance of appreciating every level that you are at in your life, right? This opportunity opened for her, but she didn't start there. She started when she was an employee. She built relationships, and she served diligently. She wanted to venture into business. That opportunity was availed to her. Meanwhile, we'll have another person who may have a different story altogether, right? So I just wanted to add to the fact that we all have our ambitions, our stories are different. Be authentic, be real, be yourself, and tell your story. Thanks.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. You know, with what she's saying, it really speaks to, number one, integrity. That even behind closed doors where you feel like maybe it won't matter right now, you still serve with your full heart, because sometimes these are the same people you would have with your full heart, because sometimes these are the same people you would have to call upon later on in your life. And also, I know it sounds cliche, but your network is your net worth. You cannot reach out to people as easily, people that you do not know. You have to make a network. Through this conference, we've been able to network and get in touch with offered certain services to the women who are saying, you know what, we don't even know where to start from. But already they have formed a connection, and they now have certain strategies, businesses. Daliso, thank you so much. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
I run Kamzo's Food. It's a Shima restaurant. Yeah, I think if you had this Shima,
Come on. Yes, now.
yeah, I called you for a Ghanaian family. I'm not Ghanaian. It's a long story. Okay, so I'll talk about financing, because financing is one of the things I think it's, as my niece says, she runs convenient. and Kampala House and Nobutula Lodge in Quito. Finance is the elephant in the room right now. And for us entrepreneurs, we're really finding it hard to get finance. Palm Zone has been with Absa for the past 11 years. The one time we wanted to access a facility, I think they were just short of telling me to go and bring my dead father from Shimura Road to Kitwe so that they can come and believe that I'll be able to pay back that loan. We have 4 POS machines from Absa. Even when they give us challenges, we still stick to Absa. Do you know what I say about